washing dishes with Ted Bundy. She had no idea her friend had already led 17 women when this photo was taken. Let's enhance it with sharp AI. Many believe the only reason she was safe was because she was blonde, and Ted Bundy targeted brunettes, as they reminded him of his ex-girlfriend. He reportedly thought about Mert 3 or 24/7s, so even at a birthday party with a smile on his face, are his eyes revealing of who he really is?
I died after being with 11 men at the same time. My name is Dasara, a 23-year-old flight attendant for Philippine Airlines. I served in the business class, so I made friends with many wealthy individuals. On December 28, 2020, it was my last flight of the year, and I was looking forward to taking a break. One of my wealthy friends organized a party and invited me to join. I didn't know until I arrived that he brought along 10 other people. But I didn't care about these things, and we started playing together. We booked 2 rooms in the hotel, and I moved between the 2 rooms with them. Sometimes there were multiple people playing at the same time, and it went on until 6 in the morning. One guy took me back to another room, and I was exhausted by then. Due to drinking alcohol, I vomited and fell asleep in the bathtub. The next day, they woke up and noticed something was wrong with me. To their surprise, I was already dead, with scars and bruises all over my body. They took me to the hospital, but the result remained the same. I had been dead for a while. The doctors discovered multiple different DNA in my body. The lower part of my body was torn, which was undoubtedly caused by the fun I had with them. Afterward, my parents sued them, but in the end, they were acquitted and set free. I am certain that the men's family connections played a role in this. The court concluded that I had an illness, and because I had consumed a lot of alcohol and engaged in high-intensity activities, it led to my death.
You and walk over to the door and open it for me, okay? And I'm gonna stay on the phone with you, okay?
But,
I will not hang up.
I'm naked.
Oh, well, you want to go grab a towel or something? I don't think the officer's gonna care, baby. We just want to make sure mommy and daddy are okay, all right?
Yeah.
Grab a blanket or something. Stay on the phone with me. Stay on the phone, all right?
Okay.
My name's Donna, by the way. You are doing a wonderful job. Wonderful job.
And I knew what to do for Stephen Dog.
You did great.
I knew.
You are wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. You should be very proud of yourself.
I'm to the door. I'm unlocking it.
Okay. You let me know when the officer talks to you. Okay, you go ahead. Okay, you talk to the officer.
Okay, the dispatcher? Okay, tell her I'm here now, okay? You can hang up.
Bye, sweetheart.
He's here.
Okay, sweetheart. You be good, okay? Bye-bye.
Daytona Beach, Florida, March 28, 2005. Little Tia Hearn-Len had just awoken to the terrifying sound of a gunshot. The young girl, who was yet to even start school, headed to her parents' bedroom to find her father lying lifeless. The chilling 911 that quickly followed from Tia framed these deaths as a murder mystery. It also raised the question as to how Tia herself had managed to avoid contact with the killer. Tia seemed to believe that this may have been a robbery, but the truth is actually far more disturbing. The killings of 29-year-old Denise Hearn-Len and his 31-year-old wife Julia were carried out by a criminal out for revenge. 33-year-old David Edward Johnson had targeted the Hearn-Lens after he had been arrested for drug possession. Johnson believed that Little Tia's parents were behind his arrest, and that they had tipped off the authorities about Johnson growing and having possession of large quantities of. In reality, neither Aeneas nor Julia had been to the police regarding Johnson and his criminal activity where drugs were concerned. They were not involved in any investigation that led to his arrest. This does not mean.
This is one of the most disgusting and evil cases I've ever heard. In February of 2013 in the Bronx, New York, a man was walking his dog at around 4 a.m. when his dog began to sniff around and led the man to a pile of trash bags that were left on the curb. As the man got closer, he realized that there was an awful smell coming from the bags that were sitting on the curb. So he decided to investigate, and lo and behold, he discovered that the bags were full of dismembered body parts. The man then decided to call the police, and after further investigation, the police found multiple different bags full of more dismembered body parts scattered across the city. It would then be discovered that the dismembered body parts would belong to a 45-year-old at-home caregiver by the name of Tanya Bird. Her body parts were placed in multiple heavy-duty trash bags containing everything from her torso to her shoulders to even her head. But guys, if only that was the worst part. You see, police then moved on to contact Tanya's son, Basid McLean, in which he responded that he believed that his mom's abusive ex-boyfriend was the one behind the killing of his mother. But little did the police know that that was not the case. As part of the investigation, police decided to go through Basid McLean's phone to see if he had any connection with his mom's murder. And lo and behold, they discovered a picture of McLean smiling in a selfie while holding his mom's decapitated head in his left hand. Yes, this is the picture of McLean holding his mom's decapitated head like it's a trophy, and of course it's blurred because we're not going to show the actual picture on here. After this, though, he was actually sentenced to 25 years in prison, but wait, it gets crazier. You see, years prior, before he was arrested, Basid McLean was actually married to a woman named Vera McLean, in which him and her had a 4-year-old son together. And about a year into McLean's prison sentence, he gets a call while in jail that his ex-wife, Vera McLean, is being charged with murder after beating their 4-year-old son to death with a broomstick. She was then sentenced to 17 years in prison. So one of them killed their mother, dismembered her body, and then flaunted her head in a selfie, and the other one beat their son to death with a broomstick. That's a pretty twisted couple, if you ask me.
I just killed my children.
Excuse me?
I just killed my children.
Where are you?
I'm in the abandoned house on Highway 77 right after you go underneath the highway. One of them's still alive. Hurry.
How? Under what highway? You're on Highway 77 where?
I'm on Highway 77 right after you go under 35 going towards Milford. Get an ambulance out here to save the one that didn't die. Come on. Hurry up.
What's your name?
Bitch, call them. Have you already called them?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay.
I need your name.
I don't want to tell you my name.
Hello?
Hello?
Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Toward Milford, right after you cross under the bridge. She's telling me she's killed her children. Are you in your car?
No, I'm not in my car. I'm in the house walking around. And one of them's still alive for real. She's asking to be saved, and I couldn't handle that. And so now
She's in an abandoned house at
it's
that
been a
location.
long time. She might already die because she's bled out a lot. And hold on. What, baby? Stay still. What did you say? I want to come down one. She said, please send to her.
Okay. Well, we've got people en route. Get an ambulance because one of them's still alive, she said. Can you tell me what happened? Ma'am? Hello? Ma'am?
What?
Can you tell me what happened?
I can't get the door open.
You can't get what door open, darling?
the front door so y'all can come in when y'all get here. Why won't it open?
I don't know.
Hold on.
Are you on the right-hand side of the road or the left-hand side of the road, sweetie?
On the other Strickler's house. It's going to be in school. They know where it's at.
Okay, they're coming. They're coming. I just want to try to clarify exactly where they are. Can you tell me what happened?
I don't want to say. I don't see any lights. They're not coming.
Well, they're on their way. My partner's getting them to you just as quickly as she can.
Okay.
How many? How many children do you have? Huh?
I experienced a terrible death in the Nutty Putty Cave. My name is John Jones, a 26-year-old medical student, and I am sharing my story with you. On September 24, 2009, I entered the Nutty Putty Cave in Utah with my family. My brothers and I, often accompanied by our father, used to explore caves as a family adventure. Around 8 p.m., upon entering the cave, shortly thereafter, we split up to explore on our own. Somewhere in the depths of the branching tunnel system, I unknowingly took a wrong turn and ended up in an uncharted, narrow passage called Avis Cave System. The tunnel became increasingly tight, and I couldn't turn back or crawl out. I continued forward. Eventually, the tunnel became only 45 centimeters wide and 25 centimeters high, with a narrow slit in the floor ahead. Unable to turn back, I decided to maneuver my way into the tiny slit, hoping to find a slightly larger cavity beyond. Unfortunately, there was no such space. My desperate struggle to free myself only caused me to slide deeper, and my body wedged into the narrower side of the tunnel. My headlamp fell off, and one arm got stuck beneath me, while the other was wedged against a rock behind me. Further movement was impossible. I was now hanging upside down in a tight feldspar crevice. Unable to move an inch, with only my feet protruding from the narrow opening above into the confined, low tunnel. When my brother Josh approached, he got stuck as well, and only managed to free himself after a while. He then saw my feet sticking out from the end of the tunnel, and called for help. Rescuers were summoned. They stayed with me, providing psychological support and praying with me, trying to figure out how to get me out of there. I prayed, apologizing for the situation, and pleaded to be rescued so that I could go back home to my wife and children. I soon realized my body wasn't designed to hang upside down for so long. My circulation would slow down, toxins would accumulate in my blood, and my body would gradually fail. I had about 8 to 10 hours left to live. The rescue team tirelessly worked around me, but there seemed to be no feasible way to extract me from the tight, confined cave. I struggled between desperation and talking calmly with the rescuers. All I wanted was to get out of there. However, as time passed, I grew weaker. My voice turned nasal, and breathing became increasingly difficult. It was unbearable to be trapped in darkness, and I started losing touch with reality. I knew that I would die. My final hope was to use a rope to pull myself out, but the tunnel ceiling was too low. I asked for Ryan, one of the rescuers who got injured during the attempt. Then, silence fell around me. I knew I was going to die. After 28 agonizing hours, I succumbed to total exhaustion. I could not be saved. The Nutty Putty Cave became my final resting place. It's a dreadful thought that I died in this dark, cramped space, never to see my family again. Since then, the cave has been closed, and it stands as a somber reminder of that unfortunate incident.